Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear Muslimah sisters. Welcome to Muslimah Mind Matters, your daily inspiration to understand your mind, empower your thoughts, and lead a life of service and kindness to self and all of Allah's creation, inshaAllah. Today, inshaAllah, we will try and understand the meaning of forgiveness and how to cultivate a forgiving attitude. Before we go further, let's imagine 4 scenarios. Scenario number 1. Your friend borrows your favorite abaya to wear to a function. When she returns it to you, you notice a few stains and a tear. She apologizes profusely and you tell her, "It's okay, don't worry about it." Scenario number 2. Your friend borrows your favorite abaya, and when she returns it, there is a tear and some stains. She says nothing about them. When you show them to her, she says she doesn't know what you're talking about. Again, you let it go because you know you can replace the abaya. Scenario number 3. You confide in a friend and she unintentionally tells another sister. When you confront her, she apologizes and promises to be mindful next time. You feel hurt, but you maintain your friendship, so you accept her apology. Scenario number 4. You confide in a friend, but she uses that information to her advantage. She acts in a manner that intentionally ruins your friendship. You're deeply hurt and you have lost trust in people. In fact, every time her name is mentioned, you feel upset and you avoid going anywhere where you know you may bump into her. Now, in these 4 scenarios, you will notice that it is easier to tackle the first 2 scenarios because it had to do with something materialistic, the abaya. However, in the last 2 scenarios, the matter was not materialistic. It was your trust. You trusted your friend with confidential information. In these last 2 scenarios, you got hurt, but in one of them, your friend apologized, and you accepted her apology and let it go. However, in the very last scenario, you didn't let go, because there was no apology. You became deeply affected and restricted your life because of her actions. You let her affect you and your decisions. Sisters, letting go when you haven't received an apology is true forgiveness. True forgiveness happens when you can no longer feel that person's control over your response to life's situations. True forgiveness happens when you no longer blame the other person for how things have turned out or how things are turning out in your life. True forgiveness happens when you no longer need that person's apology because you have decided to have a new perspective of the situation, the perspective that lets you be free from carrying a grudge or resentment of any kind whatsoever. True forgiveness is when you're able to feel peace, knowing that this person who has hurt you does not control you in any way, shape, or form, and that the only judge is Allah. Sisters, reflect on your life. Who has hurt you? Who do you need to forgive? Start practicing forgiveness. You do not have to say it out loud to that person. Forgiveness is more for you than the other person. It's for you to offload the burden. Carrying a grudge or resenting someone is burdensome. Offload that burden by forgiving. If you do not know how to forgive, cultivate the attitude to forgive in your daily life. I will share with you the method that works for me. For many years, I struggled with forgiveness. I grew up in a family where children were sexually molested by male members of the family, while the mothers of these children remained silent, even though they all knew what was happening to me and my cousins. I struggled with forgiveness when my ex-husband cheated on me multiple times and inflicted physical harm and emotional harm on me and my child. Alhamdulillah, I have been practicing forgiveness daily for the last 5 years. Islam has reminded me that only Allah is judge and that there is justice in His judgment. Having said that, the actual practice of forgiveness is a huge struggle, but there is a strategy that may help you. It certainly helps me. There are 4 steps. Step 1 is to think of the person who has hurt you, the person you need to forgive. Step 2 is to think of this person in their child version, as if they were a little boy or a little girl. Step 3, now in your mind, say to this child, I forgive you. You did what you did because someone hurt you too. I forgive you. Step 4, now imagine the person back in their adult form and say to him or her in your mind, I forgive you. You did what you did because you need love and peace. The child in you is hurt. Allah guide you to the path of love and peace. I forgive you. You have no power over me. Your words and your actions have no power over me. I release you from my mind. I release you. I forgive you. Sisters, sometimes we feel guilty for something we have done, and we find it difficult to forgive ourselves. Try practicing this affirmation to yourself. Close your eyes and say, I forgive myself and set myself free. I seek refuge in Allah's mercy. Inshallah, we benefit from our daily practice of forgiveness. For those of you who know me personally, forgive me for all the times I may have hurt you intentionally or unintentionally. Inshallah, tomorrow we meet again to empower our mind and lead a life of service and kindness. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please subscribe and share. For feedback and suggestions, please email muslimamindmatters@gmail.com.